But joining me now is Misty Marris, trial attorney and legal analyst. Good to see you, Misty. What do you make of the jurors' requests of what they're asking to see again?
Well, the jurors seem to be looking at the critical issues in the case because first they asked to see the body cam footage, and the video of the incident, then followed by the medical examiner's cross-examination, interestingly enough, relating specifically to testimony regarding her conclusion about the cause of death, and also where she testified that she wasn't sure how much pressure Penny was exerting, that she couldn't tell from her examination. So to me, the jurors seem to be very focused on that causation argument.
That the defense is making that maybe, because that's sort of the out, right?
Right.
For the jury, really, to say, look, we can't say beyond a reasonable doubt that this was necessarily the cause of death because there were some other underlying issues and drugs, et cetera.
Right, because if the jury was going to make the determination that this was justified, they don't have to get to causation because he acted in self-defense.
Right.
And they would have made that conclusion, and they could still. We don't know, because we don't know if there's a split in the jury room. But the evidence that they looked at today, and that cross-examination specifically, led me to believe that causation was an issue in that jury room.
Now, look, outside the courthouse, there's a bunch of Black Lives Matter people protesting, and the family of Jordan Neely has been regularly holding press conferences. This is some of it.
I believe in the prosecution. I believe that I will get justice is a penalty award for one's acts or deeds. I think I'll get a reward for it by getting the justice, and I think that he'll get the penalty.
I don't see how this jury is going to convict. I don't usually say things this definitively. I will be shocked if the jury convicts. I'm not saying there can't be a hung jury. I'll be shocked if the jury convicts. You?
I would be absolutely shocked if they convicted on manslaughter. I could really see a hung jury here. I don't think we're going to see a manslaughter.
But how about on the other? How about on the...
Well, it's a lesser included, Dan.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you have a lesser included on that verdict sheet, especially if the jurors are grappling with causation specifically as opposed to justification, I could see it. Sometimes it's almost seen as a compromise in that jury.
Well, that's for sure. But three or four of these jurors have felt threatened on the subway, and more than half of them have had issues on the subway. I mean, as a regular subway rider, I'm one of those people who's like, I want a Daniel Penny sitting next to me. That's exactly what the defense argued.
Understood. And you know what? I'm a New Yorker too, so I ride the subway all the time. We know that there's issues, and I think the defense did a great job. But to that end, I think that sometimes when the jurors are grappling with this and maybe can't come to a consensus, if there's something lesser that they can select, it can happen.
No, you're right.
Although I think you talk to people in New York about this case, and that's probably very reflective of the jury room. There's a huge dichotomy of opinions.
Right, but you need 12 people unanimously to convict, which is why I feel like I'm not even saying something controversial when I say they won't unanimously convict. Hung jury, maybe. That's a real possibility. Acquittal, far more likely than a conviction to me. But look, I've been wrong before. It doesn't happen that often, but I am wrong sometimes. Misty Marris, good to see you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Still ahead.